Check 1 2, check 1 2. Audio seems to be okay. I think everything else is working fine. So yeah, hello everyone. Welcome to Mahjong at Night, the Mahjong time where I just kind of like sit down and play Mahjong, but it's not really about Mahjong, and talk about random stuff with chat and anything else that chat might want to bring up. But yeah, hello there, Bree. Welcome. Just a reminder to everyone, we are also live on Twitch at the same time, just to catch anyone who might want to join us in whatever the heck we do over here. Hey Amy, hello Lacats, welcome. How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday, I guess, for most of you guys. Yeah, I guess it's still technically Friday even for me. Technically it's still Friday even for me, but it's like, I still got work tomorrow. I know I keep on mentioning it, but yes, I still got work tomorrow, but that's okay. I am, however, feeling a little bit more subdued compared to most Fridays. And when I say subdued, I mean like a little sleepy. But that's a combination of things. Right now I have some black tea with me, which, you know, black tea, more caffeine than your usual green tea and whatnot, but it's just a tiny little pick-me-up. It's not helping much because the weather outside, and it's been like this ever since this morning, is that it's been raining the entire day. I did not want to go to work today. I just wanted to stay in, sleep, and curl up and be warm and not be at work. And it's still raining right now. Maybe not as hard as it was earlier, but still raining, and I kind of just want to curl up in bed and sleep. But here I am doing my silly little stream here. But and yeah, apparently there's also a stream happening in Mahjong Seoul. It's an event. That's why we're on this screen. It's just kind of, I wanted to see what the heck was happening with the chat in the game. And it seems like, hey, there's a lot of stuff happening. Mahjong is always worth it. Mahjong is worth it. Oh yeah, speaking of which, because I am kind of feeling a little bit out of it right now, I am not going to be drinking today. So no drinking batsu for me today. But before we get started with the friendly matches, let me get one game in. I haven't gotten the game in a while, though I did play one I think earlier today, and somehow made it into second. I don't exactly know how I did it, but basically what happened is that I got Ron'd once, which was not too bad of a run. I think it was like 2,600 points or 2,900 points. Not too bad. I was planning to get it back anyway. But then I could never get a hand throughout the entire thing, and I was like in third place for the longest time. Until someone literally got basically destroyed by someone else's run, and it's like, it brought them from second all the way down to like third. And I was like, yay! Imagine winning without actually having to do anything. Sometimes that actually happens a lot in Mahjong itself. It happens a lot in Mahjong itself, but also more often than not, poor decisions and poor choices is what ultimately makes it a defeat for anyone who plays, and definitely a huge blow to self-esteem, ego. Maybe not so much ego. I feel like I don't have much of an ego these days, but definitely self-esteem. Definitely self-esteem takes a huge hit. I still haven't recovered from my Adept 2D ranking. I am still in Adept... I'm still in Adept 1, having D ranked from Adept 2. And it's, I haven't tried to get back up. I just haven't tried to get back up. Hopefully everyone else is doing better, though, this week. I don't know how it was for you guys, but technically the stream title says we're halfway through the month, but also I couldn't do the stream last week, so technically it's past halfway through the month, and we technically have one more week this month, one full weekend an extra day. So I don't know how that feels for most people. Fast, slow, just right. I don't know, a lot of people seem to think it's fast. Me, I'm just kind of waiting for my break next month. So whatever speed that is, could not be any faster or any slower. It's just whatever it is. We all have ups and downs. Well, I mean, the thing about the Mahjong solo rank is I've D-ranked to Adept 1 twice already. So D-rank... What the heck? Okay, now that's hilarious. It's okay, that's hilarious. You know, it's always it's a blow to your pride and self-esteem whenever you call Ricci and immediately someone calls Ron afterwards. I know we don't talk about Mahjong here, but it's just hilarious whenever it happens. Whether it's you or someone else, it's oof. Yeah. Yeah. Almost D-ranked to expert in 3-player Mahjong. 3-player Mahjong is a different beast though. 3-player Mahjong is a different beast. It's kind of crazy anyone even stays in the high levels, but maybe it takes a certain finesse to do that. I don't think I necessarily said anything about a holiday. The only thing I mentioned about close to a holiday is that I'm gonna be going on break next month, but it's gonna be like towards the end of next month, so it's still pretty far away. Still pretty far away. Nothing really to write home about. But yeah. I mean, I do want to get to expert at some point, but with me being as lackadaisical as I am in Mahjong Soul, not really taking it too seriously or anything like that, it's like, whatever. It is what it is. I just play this for the tables and the cute art, which apparently, from what I have been seeing with the skins, I don't know if this is a trend or it's it has been a thing for a while. The skins have been getting more on Azure Lane level of raciness, to use another term, and I don't mind it one bit, but it's very different from the Mahjong Soul I started with years ago. Whenever Mahjong Soul was kind of still new. Yeah, a little bit more risque. I don't mind it, but it's just weird to think about. And I guess some of the guys also been getting like fan service too, but I don't know. Maybe I can't see the appeal personally, but maybe the female fan base will say one way or another. But then again, I feel like, I don't know. I just don't know anything much about that. I just know as far as the girls are concerned, which is the majority of the cast, it's like, the Hot Springs stuff is like, it's pretty good. I mean, I guess you gotta give people an incentive to roll for the skins, right? You can't keep the tables free forever, and I respect that on one hand. On the other hand, it's like, okay. Yeah, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. But yeah, I honestly, for the past week, I haven't really been doing much per se. When was the last time I streamed Grand Blue? I think it was either last week or... No, it wasn't Monday. I feel like it wasn't Monday. It was last week. And last week, when I streamed that last stream of Grand Blue, I said I would be taking a break from the game for a while, and on stream I did take a break from it, but I have also been playing it off stream, and the more I play it off stream, I'm feeling the grind of Grind Blue Fantasy as it was intended from the mobile game. If for anyone who doesn't know about Grand Blue Fantasy is a mobile game that's been around for apparently 10 years now. I wasn't exactly sure how old it was. I think I got in around 2016, 2017, and stuck with it for about 2 or 3 years. That sounds about right. Maybe 2016 is about right. I stuck with it for about 2 or 3 years. Enjoyed my time with it. However, it also took a lot of, what do you call this? It ate up a lot of my personal time, which, if you think about the mobile games these days, if you play any of those, they don't really take that much of your time. But the thing about Grand Blue is you can earn a lot of the things. It's a game about grinding. It really is about grinding, and a lot of games these days aren't quite like that. They're more like, okay, you spend as little time with this as much as possible, except for maybe a few, because there's so many other different currencies for progression that like, let's take Blue Archive for example. You still have the stamina system and all that stuff, but there's also other modes that don't take any stamina, and those modes could take a while. And when I say take a while, I mean like 5-10 minutes each, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you have other things to do in your life, it could also take a while. It could feel like it'd take a while, because something might take your attention for that. Might need your attention during that 10 minutes or so, where you're kind of concentrated on the game itself, you know. But for Grand Blue, it's all stamina, and you would think that would actually limit your progression, but it doesn't, because they give you a lot of resources to refill that stamina, like very, very freely too. Even back in the day when I played, they gave you resources for progression very, very easily. Holy crap, me? Really? Please don't hurt me so much. Oh, okay, that's gonna hurt. Ouch. Ouch. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, jeez. No, that's, ouch. Boss raid does take a bit of time in Blue Archive. Yeah, it does. I did try to get back into Blue Archive a little bit, and let's just say I'm kind of reminded on how difficult, not difficult. I'm not particularly high level on Blue Archive itself, so take this with a grain of salt. I think I'm like on level 63. I don't know what everyone else is at right now, 80 something or maybe higher. I don't know what the level cap is, but I'm not very well geared. My progression in the stages isn't very high. The amount of grind you need for each character is kind of ridiculous. Even with the help of events, I feel like the amount of grind for each character is kind of ridiculous, just because the materials are so difficult to get, especially any skills you need to level past 5, or in the case of ults, past 3. Or even 2, past 2. So it's like, okay, you really have to either get good rolls and stick with the team, but you can't really do that because you also need to spread your team between like at least three groups or something like that. Because if you want to progress with the boss raids, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Dark, I see your message there, but I can't read it right now because my Nihongo is not very Jozu, so I need to enlist the help of Deep L. And Deep L is saying,
こんにちは。今日はどうですか？夜用の薬が足りないので眠れない気がします。
I got the first half of that sentence just by listening. First half of the sentence is like, hello, how are you? How you doing? I'm doing okay for the most part, and a little bit out of it. Second part is where I fell off. My listening comprehension is not very good, apparently. I need to work on that. I feel like I can't sleep because I don't have enough medicine for tonight. Ah, okay, I see. Well, I don't know any... Well, Me personally, I hate to say this, but I usually don't have an issue falling asleep. I say usually. But if I'm like super hyped up or super excited right before I go to sleep, yeah, 100% I will have an issue. 100% I will have an issue falling asleep and cannot fall asleep. Also, taking a nap in the middle of the day also does not help my situation regarding sleep stuff. So sometimes I won't be able to sleep until 1 or 2 in the morning, but me sleeping at 1 o'clock in the morning is normal actually, and I wake up around 7 on a work day. If it's not a work day, then I try to sleep in a little bit more, but usually I sleep around 1, which is not a good thing. I will just say right now that is absolutely not a good thing. And yeah, and the times I sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like I feel like utter crap the next day, or at least in the morning, because technically 2 a.m. is the next day already. So yeah, but I feel like utter crap if I sleep that late. Do not recommend. However, going back to the sleep aid part, I don't know how many people here take sleep aids. I know a lot of people take like melatonin or such like that. I don't personally. I just try to stay away from meds in general, except for, you know, supplements. Supplements are kind of needed, especially if your nutrition's not great. Yeah. There's that. I guess painkillers, like just a Tylenol if I need it, but hardly ever use it. But as far as sleeping is concerned, a lot of people say exercising helps them. I don't think I find that true. If I've exercised earlier that day, I feel like I have more energy than usual. I will probably fall asleep for a nap right afterwards, but that's also because I typically eat right after exercise. So which one's actually making me fall asleep, the exercise or the food? Probably both, actually. But as far as actually at night, I think the one thing that's really helped me the most is, I don't know, just taking a shower, a hot shower at night, if you can take a hot shower. If you can't take a hot shower for whatever reason, or it's just not something you do, which is perfectly fine, I don't know, warm feet, if it's not a particularly hot night, that seems to work really well for me. It gets me super relaxed. I guess the main thing is just trying to find a way to relax before you go to sleep. At least that works for me. I don't know how if it works for most people. That's what I would think anyway. Anyway, but yeah, it's like Grand Blue Fantasy, the mobile game, Grand Blue, Relink, way more similar than they have any right to be, minus the gacha portion. But definitely almost 100% similar to the grind, except the grind in Relink is a little bit different. Maybe it's a little bit easier, but also there's a lot more at stake. I feel like there's a lot more at stake with Relink, especially in higher difficulty raids, especially the new raid that came out last week, the Lucifer raid, which is like the end game raid. After you beat that, I guess there's really nothing else to do that you can do except keep farming it to get stronger, I guess, for whatever content comes up next, which I honestly can't think of what they would be adding. They are adding more characters in the next couple of months, but anything story-wise, story stuff is most likely done. Quest stuff, they can probably add some more, but I just can't imagine what else they could add in. So at this point, like, I was trying for the longest time off stream to to do the hardest raid, get the hardest raid down, and I feel like I have killed more raids than I have won trying that, and quite possibly having everyone that I partied with hate me in the process, because if you die too many times, then the entire raid fails. And I am in a few of those early tries when I was not so good at trying to learn the fight. I may have been the only one that died multiple times during the during those sessions, and while no one has ever actually expressed their displeasure of partying with me during that session, leaving right after the raid completes just kind of just kind of pointed out that yeah, we don't want to waste more time on this person or trying this again with this person. That's kind of how it is. Yeah, I'm reading the translation right now, and Dark, I'm hoping you're doing okay. I really can't speak to anything with medications and stuff like that. I'm just really bad about that in general. I know a lot of people struggle with it, but yeah, I guess just keep up with just keep up with it. Just keep up with it. Okay, 4th place. What wouldn't be what wouldn't be a Mahjong night without me getting to 4th place hit again? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get that back up. All right, let me at least open the room up to everyone else here, so that we can actually just enjoy this moment. Okay, so here is the link for anyone who wants to join. You can put in the room code, or you can use the link, whichever you prefer doing. My tea is still okay. But yeah. Anyway, and yesterday when I was doing the fights and stuff for the hardest raid, I managed to actually get through somehow, through maybe pure luck, but also really sweaty hands at the same time, and I feel accomplished actually. And after that, it's like, what do I do now? I can keep doing the same raid, and I did it another time and actually succeeded again another time, which I was not expecting. But holy crap, it takes a lot of concentration and effort to just get through that. I feel like I don't really need to do it anymore, but I am also kind of like, still there is an AFK method for grinding in Grand Blue, and I have been doing that actually, just because I need to work on other things, but the small grindy stuff I can leave to the AI to handle, which is kind of neat that you can actually do that up to a certain level. You can't do it on the hardest levels. At least I haven't been successful in doing so, though I think there is a way. I think there is a way. But yeah, it's interesting the amount of things you can actually do in the game that just adds on to the grind. And I think at this point I'm like, yeah, it was fun for the couple of weeks I did it, and it's still fun, but I don't need this to be eating my life right now like the original game did. That'd be quite painful. That'd be quite painful right now. If only because the other thing is, I do have a game that just came out. When was it? Oh, today actually. There is a game that came out today that I can't play until next week, just because we're, schedule wise, I already have this week set, so gotta wait a little bit. If you've seen the waiting rooms in the channel, you will see it. You'll see it there. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2? Nah. Have you heard this stuff about that's happening in Dragon's Dogma 2? No. I've never even played the first one, so it's like I have no what do you call this? I have no, what's another word for volition? Holy crap, why am I picking up these high level words off the top of my head? Ouch. Okay, that's just 5-2. That's just 5-2. But still, ouch. Now, I don't know what the heck, Capcom is doing with their gaming models and stuff like that. And supposedly, a lot of the stuff they put up for DLC is available in game itself. But if it's available in the game itself, part of me is asking why make it DLC to begin with. I think the nickel and diming for stuff that should be basic within the game design, making those as DLC is a bit egregious. It's a little bit egregious. Like, why? Day 1 DLC is also never a good thing unless the DLC is like extra stuff that doesn't happen, like, that doesn't like affect gameplay. Let's say an art book, a soundtrack. They still count as DLC, but it's separate from the game. Skin recolors, I guess Grand Blue did that, and some other games also do that, Day 1 DLC, but those skin recolors are more like cosmetics that you don't really need at all. And you can't really customize your characters in those games anyway, so that's a different story altogether as far as I'm concerned. But gameplay stuff like waypoints and fast travel, not all games need them. But maybe for something like Dragon's Dogma, I don't know how it plays, but I'm assuming it should be basic, should be fairly essential, but they also have it as paid DLC. They say that you can earn it in game, but why make it DLC to begin with? I don't understand that. Other than, you know, make a little bit more money on the side, and some people will spend money on DLC without even giving it a second thought. But for people who don't want to spend it, which I feel like is the majority of people in general, you're paying for a AAA expensive game, and then on top of that, there's these DLCs that are available, that you can get if you so choose. However, it wouldn't be such a bad thing if the DLCs that were up for sale were not so, I don't know, it feels like if the DLCs that were up for sale weren't something that you would expect in a base game, I think it would be less of an issue. But literally paying to edit your character, adding waypoints, doing fast travel, I think those are the 3 main things I saw people complain about. It just doesn't sit well. Personally, it doesn't sit well. We don't, as far as I'm concerned, we don't support crappy business decisions, regardless on how good the game is. Just me personally. That's a personal thing. Anyway, I have no stake in it, but from a game design standpoint and a business standpoint, I have less credibility on the business standpoint, but on a game design standpoint, where, you know, having fun should be the, what do you call this? Should be the primary goal, and then the money will flow in because of that. I feel like from a game design standpoint, that's just wrong. To me, that kind of decision making is wrong. But I don't know. I don't know what the heck Capcom is thinking these days, and it might just be a, what do you call this? It might just be a decision per the team, or it might also be something from above. I don't know. Yeah, status quo should be having fun with the game first and foremost. That's what games are for. Whether your idea of fun is, just having a chill time or being in utter pain like you are in Dark Souls, it should be at least enjoyable to a certain degree. Anything else outside of that is like, I don't know. I'm still iffy with the whole DLC situation, and I only find it acceptable in certain things, or at least on certain kinds of add-ons that may not be necessary. Like when DLCs first came around, I didn't like the idea before then, but it became so normalized that people have DLCs for everything. And for the most part, I feel like the DLCs are reasonable for the most part, the way people have been implementing them. There are a few DLCs that may be a little bit egregious. Let's say The Sims, for one. I get it, the base game has limited stuff that you can do, and it's perfectly fine with it. And probably because of the DLCs, people started modding, or maybe it's just a moddable game to begin with. I don't know. I don't do modding. I don't do any of that. But there's that. But The Sims, from what I understand and what a friend has shown me, has DLCs up the wazoo. Oh wait, actually no, you don't really call them DLCs, you call them expansion packs. Which, on one hand, expansion packs, okay, is maybe a form of DLC before DLCs were actually a thing, if you think about it. But because it adds on this whole other set of things, it's less of, I don't know, I don't know if it's acceptable, but it's more like accepted. Expansion packs versus actually calling it a DLC. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I'm not quite sure how to separate that in my head. But having something like, there's a WoW expansion pack, and then there's expansion packs to Final Fantasy XIV, which a lot of people are more than happy to pay for. At least with those two in particular, you get a whole lot of content with it, and the content should be paid for. I feel like it should be paid for. Capcom made a huge oopsie, but I feel like it's not necessarily just Dragon's Dogma they did a huge oopsie on. I hear they did it also in other games too, though I think Dragon's Dogma 2 is the first one where they made a huge oopsie enough that it actually made a good stink. Is the game actually good? I don't know. I heard some stuff about it that it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. No. Again, saying this not as a Dragon, I have no stake in Dragon's Dogma whatsoever. I don't feel like it's a game I'm gonna pick up at all. Just not my thing. Just not my thing. But I could rant more about DLCs, but I feel like where do I go? Where'd I go with that? We could probably write up an entire essay on the. Oh, did we finish that? Congratulations, the cats. Well, congratulations. Play the first one. Gonna play this one today. Okay. Let me know how you feel about that. Okay. Here's a link for anyone who is coming from either YouTube and Twitch. Just FYI, we are also streaming on Twitch today to catch any Mahjong folks over there. Welcome, by the way, I can't see your name, it's so blue. Delicatis. I don't think we have too many people on both sides, so if you guys would like to, yeah, okay, that's fine too. That's fine. Nashikami. I don't think I've seen Nashikami in chat. Whoever you are, welcome. It didn't count if there is an AI. Wait, what's that? Oh, is there a mission for the event right now? Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, the event is, I don't know, is it, what's the event? Like I said, I don't do events in Mahjong, so I just saw that the streamer girl I'm using right now actually has an event, and that's actually kind of interesting because when they first introduced her, she was just a character, right? I don't know when they started doing events in Mahjong, so like actual story events and stuff like that. I do feel like that was missing a long time ago before, because before Mahjong Soul was just like PNGs and a Mahjong table, but nothing else really was happening in there. And I don't know if it's because Ricci City started adding events that Mahjong Soul also started adding events. I don't mind it. I just don't do them. I just don't do them. Just because I just see it as a Mahjong table. That's it. Just do the daily play mission. Ah, okay. I should probably too. I'm just mostly focusing though on Reverse 1999, which doesn't actually take a whole lot of time, but the less games the less gacha style games, the less mobile games I have under my belt, the better. I did mention I was holy crap, that's a fast Ricci. I did mention that I did try Blue Archive again and could not do it. I like the girls, I really do. But I cannot bring myself to play that game again. It's just no. It takes too much time. I did also try a different game. Well, maybe like last month. I tried it for a little bit. On the one hand, I enjoyed it. Kind of. On the other hand, I hated it. Because it's not. I didn't like the decision that the game existed to begin with. I had very complicated feelings about the other game I played. For anyone curious, I'm just gonna talk about this briefly. What are we talking about? Right now, I'm talking about gacha games, I guess. How did we get here? I think we got here from just me briefly mentioning Mahjong Soul didn't really have events until maybe the past year, less than a year. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's been longer than that. I haven't really been paying attention because I don't do events in Mahjong Soul. But tried Blue Archive again. Couldn't get back into it because of how much time it takes to do the dailies and stuff. And then kind of briefly mentioned that I did try a different gacha game that was related to my interest last month. It's called, wait, what's the actual name of this? Hold on, let me get the name, because it's a complicated name even looking at it. Let's see. Yes, here we go. Atelier Resleriana. If anyone knows the Atelier series or know about Ryza, which is probably the entry to the series for most people, it's related to those series. The main thing I really didn't like about it is that it is considered a mainline game. Like, it has an actual number, and it is, I think, number 20, I want to say 25 in the series. If it's not 25, it's somewhere past that. Yes, there are at least 25 Atelier games altogether, but those are just main games. There are also numerous side games, Gaiden games, however you want to call them. And somehow a gacha game gets a number on it, and that really didn't sit well with a lot of people, myself included. Now, having played it a little bit, it's okay. Honestly, it's okay. Gameplay wise, it's not bad. Story wise, it is kind of what I expected it to be. However, it's also very, very pared down to what a main series game should be like. So it's kind of like, there's a lot of RNG involved in the gameplay itself, which not really a thing in the main series. So, and the tier systems for the rarities and stuff, it's definitely a hard, blunt stick compared to tier system rarities and other gacha games, which is a little bit too obvious. Yeah. Hey Ruby, welcome. So it's kind of like I can't support it because of that. The gameplay is mildly interesting. It plays I guess differently enough from other gacha games, but at the same time, no, I just cannot. Gacha games gonna be gacha games. Yeah, but also they don't have to be. Honestly, they don't have to be. I played also Limbus Company for a while since it opened up, and at least for a few months, but eventually dropped it because it was super grindy. It is still super grindy. There's no fast play button in Limbus Company. It is pretty much it takes up your time. It takes up a lot of time. But I did enjoy it quite a bit. If you ever heard of Project Moon, Project Moon has games called Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Arena. Both games I have played on the channel. Both games I have actually enjoyed quite a bit. Finished both of them. Library of Lobotomy Corporation took, I want to say, almost 150 hours. And Library of Arena took about 200 hours, all on stream. So yeah, I did sink a lot of time into them, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it actually. And Limbus Company, for anyone who hasn't played it or seen anything about it, it's basically a card. How do I say this? It's a card type game. Well, I should probably clarify. I guess if you know a little bit of no, there's no bots in this match. Everyone's a player here. But yeah, so each character has like different skills, right? But the thing is, each skill gets dealt out at random each turn. If you know FGO, it's kind of like that. However, each skill also is like weighted. So you have a skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. Skill 1 has like let's say 3 cards in the deck. Skill 2 has 2 cards in the deck, and skill 3 has 1 card in the deck. Think of skill 3 as your ult. There's really no such thing as an ult in Limbus Company, but you can call it your ult because it hits pretty hard. But it's not really an ult, but it hits pretty hard. And so you have an equal chance for each card to pop up each turn for each character. And I think in most circumstances, each character usually gets one skill per turn. Though in certain cases you can get up to 2 or 3 skills, or if they're playing solo, you can actually have a team of only one person and all the other characters are basically acting as support, but not, on screen. They can have like all the slots, all the skill slots on for you to use. I think like up to 10 or something ridiculous like that, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but imagine fighting a boss solo with one character who is probably not going to have a very good early game, and you have to like survive those first 2 turns, otherwise you're going to die a horrible death. And stagger is a thing in the game, and if you get staggered, your damage is doubled. Damage received is doubled, as well as being stunned for at least 1 turn. Yeah, it's 1 turn. You're stunned for 1 turn, but you also have to have enough HP to survive that. And most of the time, it doesn't work out that well. It doesn't work out that well, regardless on how strong you are. But people have done it, and apparently it's very fun to do. However, yeah, it's also like it's more complicated than rock paper scissors, because you know in most gacha games there's elements in play. Fire beats water, water beats fire, whatever, and so forth and so forth, and that's pretty easy. However, LULdog's company takes that further. You have quote-unquote elements, I guess, represented as the 7 sins, which doesn't really make too much of a difference because that doesn't usually come into play. However, you also have your slash attacks, blunt attacks, piercing attacks, and each one also has another element on top of it. So you have like 2 elements to play with, which makes things very complicated very, very fast. And each attack that you do is basically a clash type thing. And when I say clash type thing, you do a roll, the enemy does a roll, you compare both rolls. Whoever rolls higher, the attack goes through. Whoever rolls lower, their attack is cancelled. If you both roll the same number, then you roll again until someone wins the roll, basically. So that keeps on going until someone wins a roll. I think if you hit 99 rolls for some reason during the clash, then you automatically win the roll when you're not really supposed to, but you automatically win the roll. Very hard to do, very rare to do, not really a normal thing. But yeah, it's more like it's either you do really well or you do really badly. But there is a way to control the RNG, and that's not too bad. Library of Arena was the same thing, and Library of Arena is more of a traditional kind of console game on Steam. It's also a little bit more complicated than LULdog's company, but that's where LULdog's company takes their system from. But yeah, I guess I said all that to say LULdog's company plays actually fairly okay for a gacha game, but it's not meant to be. You're not supposed to treat it like as a gacha game, despite it being a gacha game. It's more like a console game disguised as a gacha game, but it is a gacha game. It's also very grindy. It's also very grindy like the previous games before it. But it's also a heck of an experience if you actually have the patience to play through every story so far. Because holy crap, there's a lot of stuff to go through, and holy crap, there is a lot of not necessarily grinding per se, because it doesn't really matter how grinded you are, but it's more like, can you read? Can you read? Because that is the #1 thing that's gonna kill you in any Project Moon game. If you do not read, you will die. End of story. That's how it goes. And a lot of people don't read. A lot of people don't read. They just think they can unga bunga and win, which sometimes works. Sometimes works. But for the harder fights, no. I mean, it also helps like if you have like good rolls, so you can make like a really tweaked out team. But for the most part, it's not necessary. You just need you just need to get a basic thing going, and you're good to go for the most part. Though some things would make it easier for sure. Anyway, Project Moon, check it out. Maybe if you, I guess if you ever heard of Project Moon games, they're notoriously hard, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed being in pain while playing them. I think that's when I found out I was a masochist. No, that's not true. I was always a masochist before then. It's just that it was more evident when I tried it, and I think also my sanity got attacked when I played those games. Especially the first one, Lobotomy Corporation. They do have a sanity stat to your characters. Like every character has a health stat and a sanity stat, but their sanity stat doesn't matter because it's your sanity stat that's actually getting attacked at the end of the day, because you have to control these guys. Imagine a RTS, right? A real-time strategy along the lines of not Dota. What's the other thing I'm thinking? StarCraft? Is there another game like StarCraft that people would know? Do people know StarCraft? Let's just say StarCraft for now, because that's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Um, imagine that, except you're not on the usual StarCraft map. You are basically looking at a building from the side. What's StarCraft 2? What's WC3? I don't know what WC3 is. But yes, but imagine looking at a building from the side, and the building is Warcraft. I didn't realize Warcraft was like that. Okay. But yeah, imagine a building on the side. Okay, so you can see the cross section of the building. You see the rooms in the building, and that's basically how the layout is. And you kind of play the Lobotomy Corp as if it was a strategy game, like an RTS. It kind of is. You don't really feel it. I mean, you don't really think about it when you first play it because it doesn't seem like one. But I feel like it's heavily inspired like one. But anyway, the basic goal in Lobotomy Corp is to collect energy. Collect energy from these monsters you are taking care of in the facility. And well, it's not every single room has one, but basically you have multiple departments in the building, and you unlock the departments as you play the game. And I think each department basically has, I want to say, at least four different kinds of monsters. We'll call them abnormalities because that's what they call them. You can call them SCPs too. It's also heavily inspired by SCP. And you basically take care of them. You talk to them. You see what they need. Try to work with them the best you can. There's RNG always in any of these Project Moon games, so you will be also kind of fighting that. But you can improve it as the game goes through. However, if you don't treat them well, or if you mess up taking care of them, they will break out of their cells and they will kill you. Or just make a mess out of everything. They don't all kill you, but most of them will. Most of them will. The worst ones are the ones that basically go through all of the departments, go through walls, activate every 30 seconds or so, and basically deal more damage than you can handle, as well as move so fast you can't get out of the way. Now the characters that you control, they start off weak, but eventually if you keep them alive, you can train them to become stronger. You can give them equipment and stuff like that. But you still have to tell them where to go. You have to tell them who to attack. You have to tell them how to escape and stuff like that. So imagine managing that. Imagine all the monsters breaking out at the same time. Multiple monsters. Maybe not all of them will break out at the same time, though it is possible all of them will break out at the same time. And there's a few that you can handle one-on-one. And then there's a few that if one of them gets out, everyone is screwed, regardless of what you do. Like, I guess the worst one is calling the Antichrist, and the Antichrist basically takes over the entire place and wipes everyone out, and it's a game over from there. It starts off easy until maybe like day 20, and you have to survive up to day 50. Congratulations, Nashikami, for the first place, and I think I got 4th place again. Oh well, it is what it is. Congratulations. But yeah, that be how it is. Okay, let me refresh the link for anyone who wants to join in. Thanks for the game. Hard to play and to listen. Can't keep up. Gonna lurk for a while. Okay, don't worry. There's the thing about Mahjong Night, guys. It's not just about Mahjong over here. It's also just me rambling about whatever the heck I can come up with. And it just so happens it got me rolling with the gacha games. GG's, thanks for the games. Thank you for joining. For anyone on Twitch, just FYI, my main channel is on YouTube. So if you want to check out YouTube, please. I think I think the link should be in the About section. If it's not, let me know and I'll go update that. I usually don't stream on Twitch. I'm usually on YouTube. I think someone just mistook you for a bot. That's what it was. I think that's what it was. But yeah, I think we have a 4th slot here if anyone wants to fill it in. Otherwise, I will be adding the AI in there. And I'll be rambling again for the next hour, basically. All right, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit, just checking to see what I've got. Let's see what I talk about. Relink. That's what I was doing for the past week, and I still like playing it, but maybe I need to move on a little bit and detox myself from the game for a little bit also. Gacha game was not a part of my list, but it is now apparently. Let's see what else. We talk a little about Dragon's Dogma. I only heard about the controversy about today, and apparently I guess it's because the game was released today. I mean, it's a shame though. A lot of people were having fun with the editor, and then suddenly you can't edit your character anymore. I mean, I guess it makes sense to not be able to edit your character once you actually use them in the game itself. But you know, why have a DLC for that? I don't know. Anyway, talked about the rain. What else did I say? Oh yeah. Oh wait, I can't do this one yet. I can't do this one yet because we're playing Mahjong. If I remember later, remind me after we're done with the Mahjong for tonight. This is a funny little thing, but let's see. Oh yeah, I've been trying to catch up. No, I just got something in the mail yesterday, and I wanted to show the picture, but I got the. So does anyone know about Shigure Ui Sensei from? She's basically she's basically an artist, but she also does a little bit of a streaming on the side. And I think was it last year? I think it was last year. She had like a birthday stream or something. No, it's either a birthday stream or something like that. The plush, yep, the plush. I got her plushies. I'm a plush collecting addict, and I have to control myself because when I move, I have to like stuff them somewhere. So there's been quite a few plushes I wanted to get, but I had to stop myself. Like a giant Freerin plush, the size of basically not a small dog, a big dog. I had to stop myself from pre-ordering one of those because I don't know when it's going to be available. And even if I did get that in time, I basically have to either stuff it in my trunk in the car, or have a box big enough to ship it to wherever I'm moving to next, later in the year. So I had to stop myself, and it's probably a limited run item. So I'm gonna miss having that. But at the same time, it's probably gonna be really expensive. But at the same time, I want it. At the same time, I can't afford. No, it's not that I can't afford financially. I can't afford to have it because I have to think about shipping all this stuff out at a time when I really should be thinking about not accumulating so much stuff before I have to move later this year. It's that conundrum. It's that conundrum of, you know, you're not going to be in a place for very much longer, and you know you're going to have to move soon, but you also have to think about the stuff that you want and the stuff that you can't get because you will be moving soon. I don't know how else to put it. Put it another way, a lot of people like making Gunpla models, right? And I kind of got into that a little bit, though not necessarily Gunpla. We did do like a woodworking thing one time where I put together a wood puzzle, a clock wood puzzle, which was pretty fun, and I wanted to get more wood puzzles. And I also did there was a Pop Team Epic mech model. I was about to say Gunpla, but it's essentially like a Gunpla. It's a plastic model. Let me get some water. Yeah, so I did that also, and I wanted to do more, but again, the whole space issue, having to ship it, and I guess maybe at the time I wasn't thinking of moving when I got this whole set of tiny little gacha toys in Japan the last time I went last year. At the time I wasn't really thinking of moving this year, but after that trip it's like, yeah, okay, I should probably go and move. And that's basically when most of my spending stopped, which is probably a good thing because I spent way too much last year. My voice is dying. What the heck is going on? Okay, so maybe I just talk like this. That sealed the deal for you? Well, maybe going to Japan after 4 years? Japan closed in 2020, right? So that was when the pandemic started. And I wasn't going to go to Japan that year anyway because the Olympics was supposed to happen in Tokyo, and I knew it was going to be super busy in Japan around that time, so I didn't want to have to deal with the crowds and all that stuff. But then the pandemic happened, and as far as everyone knows, Japan was closed until not last year. I think it was October of 2022. No, not 2022. It was close. Was it 2022 when Japan opened back up, or was it 2023? I keep forgetting. It was one of those years. But when I was finally able to go back was last year. So essentially 4 years. 2020, 2021, 2022, so 2023. And the time I went before that was in 2019. So yeah, about 4 years. About 4 years apart. Yeah, sorry I had to do that to you, Amy. I don't even know what I did. How much did I hurt you for? How much did I hurt you for? But yeah, after that trip, I realized how much I missed traveling, how much I missed going to Japan. And that was partly why I also wanted to move, so I can take a break from working and going to like do a 3-month trip. Because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm not sure what the world is going to be doing. And I guess I could always go to Japan, like every time I get the chance to go on a break. However, also my work conditions were getting worse. I actually probably wouldn't have minded staying here for at least 1 more year if my workplace was not like being such a prick, basically, for tightening all the time off requests, as well as coming down so hard on us for certain things that made our lives easier. So it's like, yeah, I'm just going to basically finish my contract and quit and take a trip before the next thing. That was the plan. That is the plan still. Ouch. And yeah, that's the main reason why I want to move, is to get out of here. Basically, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't like living where I am right now. Not because of anything particularly horrible. I mean, I guess the job is getting worse, but that's not the main reason. The main reason is I just don't like this place. I just don't like this place. And that's such a that's such a willy-nilly thing to say, because a lot of people would just be happy to have a job and can't really afford to go anywhere else, and that's, you know, that's just kind of how it is. I guess I'm fortunate enough that I can still have the decision to go elsewhere, but at the same time, if I keep working in the place I am right now, I feel like it's gonna eat at me sooner rather than later, and I really don't want to do that after having been in a different job for about 8 years, basically. And I wouldn't say the previous job was bad. It did have its moments, but overall I didn't regret it. Overall I didn't regret it, despite everything that happened. It's just that I guess part of me was like, I didn't want to repeat that experience again, and especially not now when you know, I basically went through a midlife crisis going back to Japan. I don't know if that's such a good reason or what. Probably not a good reason. Don't be me. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. But yeah, it's basically after so much thought, like, yeah, I don't want to be here. Things are getting worse here to a degree that I can't agree with. And it might be better if I just move back where I came from and start over, but after I take a trip, you know? Atarashi Ako perk. Yeah, the fast win perk. Congratulations, the cats. Congratulations. Good game. Let me refresh the link again for people who want to join. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mistake by doing this. I really haven't finalized anything yet. Like technically, I have until, I want to say, June to finalize things in general. I have until June to finalize if I'm actually moving or not, as well as what I'm going to be doing next. But before that happens, I may as well make my plans now, right? Because generally, if I want to do a 3-month Japan trip, I need to make the reservations at most 3 months before the actual trip happens. Generally, I would like to do it 6 months to a year. And we're kind of way past a year. We're kind of bordering on 6 months. So it's like, okay, sure. Hello, Mona Aiba. Welcome. Can you join? Yeah, of course. The room is open for whoever can join. FYI, we are both streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I am mainly on YouTube, so if you want to check the channel out, it should be in the About section in Twitch. But yeah, I'm mainly on. But yeah, please join if you want to. Should be a link up here. If not, you can also type in the code. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let me start. And also I need to get some more water because holy crap, I feel like my voice is dying whenever I do this non-stop Zatsu stream for 2 hours. So just FYI, whenever anyone does like a scientific presentation at any, what do you call this? At any seminar or whatever, they don't usually talk for more than 30 minutes. No, I didn't forget about the plush pick. The plush pick is like after all the games are done, not right now. It's after all the games are done. But yeah, anyway, whenever anyone does any presentation, scientific or whatnot, they usually don't talk for more than 30 minutes, and they also don't talk like non-stop like most streamers do, or at least some streamers do. I feel like some streamers are better at pacing how they talk. And then there's other streamers like me who talk non-stop, almost pretty much non-stop. If I had another person here, maybe it'd be easier for me to balance the talking load. But it's just me. It's just me because I don't have a co-host for this thing. I would love to have a co-host for this kind of thing, but I think in general people are just not available for that. So oh well, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, 30 minutes, 1 hour. If you want to co-host with me again, Amy, that's fine. I know we haven't done it in a while, but if you want to do it every once in a while, let me know, and then we can set something up for that. Because I don't mind doing either way, but I feel like it's also more interesting if there's someone to what do you call this, to go back and forth on. Teach mornings now, so usually available in the evenings. Okay. All right. We can talk more about this in DMs or whatnot, but in general, Mahjong night is every 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, if you are available for that. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, talking non-stop for 2 hours is a strain. I feel like even talking non-stop for an hour is also a strain. Because most people, anyway, in non-streaming world, most people in non-streaming world would only talk for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour at most, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Because holy crap, who throws out a Dora? But then again, I really didn't know what you had, so ouch. Thank goodness this is a friendly match and not a ranked one. I can't take another 4th place. Ouch. I need to pay more attention. But yeah, in general, people don't talk that long. I think even when they're doing a podcast, I feel like I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, and I say a lot of podcasts, but it's only really been one podcast. The Abroad in Japan podcast, which I mean, if you know Chris Broad, Abroad in Japan, the videos are really, really good. He also has a podcast, by the way, which is a lot more relaxed than the videos, I feel. And I just listened to that during work, because I can't find the one Japanese podcast I would like to listen to, just to improve my listening comprehension a bit more. That would be nice. If anyone knows of a Japanese podcast to listen to, let me know. Something slow, please. Something slow. I can't keep up with fast talk quite yet. Though I guess it would be a good thing to try and get used to in general. But I guess also when you talk to people in real life in Japan, it's like the speed of speech it's all over the place, actually. There are people who talk really, really fast, and there's people who talk really, really slow. Just like people you know in real life. It's a thing. It's a thing, apparently. And I've had my share of both. But anyway, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently, and so nice to pass the time with, but also at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm running out of podcasts to listen to because the day is 8 hours long, and each episode is like 30 minutes long typically, but sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. No longer than 45 minutes is what I've been noticing. But that's also a podcast. A typical podcast is between two people, not necessarily between, well, not just with one person doing a soliloquy the entire time. And I say a soliloquy, but it's not really a soliloquy, right? It's more like, what would you call this type of podcast anyway? I actually don't know. What would you call a single person podcast? Is that still a podcast? Are there other single person podcasts out there? I call this a Mahjong podcast, but is it really a podcast? Am I just like talking out of my butt, or is it just a regular Zatsu stream? I feel like it's a regular Zatsu stream, the way I'm treating it. In monologuing, I guess it's monologuing, but I'm also having conversation sometimes with chat anyway. Or at least I try to have a conversation with chat. If there's a conversation to be had. Very much try. Very much try. But yeah. I don't know where I was going with the train of thought. I started talking. It's like, oh crap! What am I talking about now? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh, it's gonna happen again, isn't it? Please have mercy on me. I know this is just a friendly matchup. Please have mercy on me. My points cannot take it anymore. My points cannot take it anymore. But I do like seeing the swimsuit Akko, so I guess I'll let it pass. Okay. Can anyone promise me this one though? Anyone promise me this? One of these days, one of us, I don't care who does it, someone get a Yakuman on stream. I want to see a Yakuman on stream. I've had many Yakuman chances in ranked, mostly of the Suanko type. However, what do you call this? I never actually materialize it because I keep on running on the winning tile, which you're not supposed to do for a closed triplet Yakuman. Which I keep forgetting that's a requirement. Otherwise, it just counts as a normal Suanko, which that's a huge point difference. But yeah, one of these days, one of us needs to get a Yakuman. It's hard. It is hard, especially when the playstyle generally tends to be either play fast or what is the other playstyle? The other playstyle is try to make whatever you can with your hand, and sometimes that means you lose opportunities because you discard the most optimal condition, which happens more often than not to a lot of people. And if you're playing short rounds, I guess short rounds in general encourage you to play fast, right? Because you are trying to score in such a short amount of time. If it was South games, if you had South games, then it's a little bit easier to take it easy, right? So you're not really looking to score that quickly, and you're probably playing a little bit more defensively. That's how I feel like it is generally with games that have a South round. I don't know. That might just be me, but that's in general what I've noticed anyway. I noticed that's how I play whenever there's a South round. It's like whenever I try to play a South round, like or a regular Mahjong game, and I try to go fast, it doesn't usually work out. Because usually there's always someone with a higher scoring hand who waits a little bit more. I don't know how it is in professional games. I probably should actually watch professional games, but I don't know if I can actually learn anything from professional games. Like, why did someone discard what? Why did they do what they did? Mahjong in general is a little hard to learn from just by watching. Congratulations! Holy crap, that is a lot of points. Congratulations, though. Mono Aiba, congratulations. If you would like to play again, please stay in the room. But otherwise, I don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the link in chat for anyone else who wants to hop in. But if you want to keep playing, I think that'd be fine. I think that would be fine. Let's see. I need to regain my train of thought because I feel like I keep on losing my train of thought whenever I start talking and we have breaks in between. Actually super sleepy? Okay. Thanks for playing, Amy. Thanks for playing. I'll be here for at least 30 more minutes. I'll be here for at least 30 more minutes doing this, because I do this for about 2 hours, and then what do you call this? What do you call? And then I kind of just close it out from there. But yeah, we do this for about 2 hours. I'll be lurking. All right. Actually, Amy, quick question before we move on. Are you in daylight savings time too? I know the US hits the DST first before Canada, but I'm not entirely sure. There is more chance Yakuman happened in Sanma, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, three player games do that. You know what? Let's do 3-player games. For a change of pace. Let's try that. Why not? Let's have a little bit more chaos in here in this already chaos riddled game. Let me try that. Switched over a couple weeks ago. Well, if it's a couple weeks ago, then it's about the same time as the US then. So do we have the same schedule? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if that's the same schedule then. Because it sounds like it is. Did I mention I hate DST? I hate DST. DST should just go away. It's not necessary. There's no reason to have it. Screw your 1 + 1 hour of sunshine during the summer months. You don't need it. We don't need the +1 hour of sunshine during the summer months, because it screws up the timing before then. Why are we doing it in spring? We don't need it in spring. If you really want the +1 hour of sunshine, do it in summer when you actually want it, not before then. I'm so salty about that. I'm so salty. Asia doesn't do it. Even Japan doesn't do it. In Japan, it probably actually could benefit from DST. Honestly, it could probably benefit in DST during the winter. Holy crap. Do you guys have any idea when the sun sets in Japan? Especially when it gets into fall and winter? Like, I didn't really experience this until the last trip. The last trip in Japan was in fall, so around October. And while that's not winter time just yet, it is still... You still feel the time, like the really early sunset. And I think it sets around maybe 5 or 6 p.m. Now, 6 p.m. might not sound that late for some people, and because if you live in the equator, the sun rises at 6, the sun sets at 6, and that's perfectly normal, and that happens throughout the entire year. If you're in the northern or southern hemispheres, having the sun set at 6 is very rare. That is very strong too. Holy crap. It's rare. We're used to having it set a little bit later, let's say 7 p.m. or something like that. Earth axis tilt and whatever. It happens. But yeah, it's kind of like that. But in Japan, especially when winter starts hitting, I think by the end of the trip last time, I think the sun set around 5 p.m. and this was early November, which was way too early as far as I'm concerned. And it sets even earlier in winter, I hear, like around 3 or 4 p.m., which is way too early in general. Like, imagine pitch darkness by 4 p.m. That's crazy. It's the opposite problem in summer, actually, and this one I did experience firsthand. The few times I was in Japan during the summer, the sun rises at 4 a.m. and it doesn't set until, you know, around maybe 7 or 8 in the evening/night, which isn't too bad. But 4 a.m. for a sunrise? That's way too early. I feel like it would be the same thing in the US too if we didn't do DST, but we don't do that for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe people don't want to be woken up at 4 in the morning, which I can totally sympathize with. But still. Also, holy crap, Mono Aiba, you are beating the cats, who is very infamous here for having a active passive for high points in 3-player mode. That is an achievement. That is a very good achievement. Also scary, very scary. Okay, I need to survive this somehow. Survive somehow. But yeah, I don't know. I hate DST. I think a lot of people also hate DST, but we can't convince the powers that be to change it. And I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way. Like, Mexico got rid of DST, why can't we? I want to. Yeah, you did mention that you almost D-rank from expert, but also expert's kind of harsh with the, what do you call this? With the point scale anyway. So I'm just gonna take a quick look at Mono Aiba and see what their ranking status is here. Game, please. Let me. Oh. Counterattack with some points back. Some points back. Yeah, I don't play Sanma either. Sanma is kind of neat, but also it's a little too hectic for my taste. Novice in friendly matches, Novice in Sanma, Adept 3 in regular games, which is impressive. Impressive from my standpoint. If only because I have D rank from Adept 2 twice. I have D rank twice, which may not be that too bad, but still, D ranking twice is painful. And that didn't used to be a thing. I used to be able to maintain Adept 2, and I don't know when the bad luck started rolling in, but the bad luck started rolling in and it doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped yet. It hasn't stopped for the past 6 months plus. Ouch. It is very, yeah. Haven't touched rank in a while. I don't blame you. I'd be scared to touch rank too anyway, or at least I wouldn't touch rank if I had a choice. Hey, being stuck in a rank is probably not a bad thing, but de-ranking from a rank is painful, extremely painful. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Let's see. No, actually, I feel like I hit all the points I wanted. I could go over today minus Ui Sensei. I'll show Ui Sensei pictures later. But yeah, other than that, I guess I've just been trying to catch up with anime this week. I don't know if anyone's been watching any anime this season. Dungeon Meshi is still going on. Gushing over Magical Girls is still going on, but I think that's ending next week. Really smutty, but also really good for what it is. Highly recommend the manga if you haven't read it. Again, super smutty. Just FYI, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Freeman is also ending as far as the anime is concerned, but I want to read the manga. I want to read the manga. It's been a. I feel like the anime is just super special. That the manga is. I've tried reading a little bit of the manga actually. It's good, but it doesn't hit as hard as the anime, and I'm not quite sure why. It could be the it could be the directing in the anime. Also, the music helps a lot. The music helps quite a bit, actually. So it's probably a combination of the two that make it really stand out as an anime. I know it also hits people a little bit differently depending on what stage of life you're in. Older people tend to get hit hardest by Frieren, or someone who has a lot of loss in their life. I don't know. That's my impression anyway. That's the impression I come away with. But the manga, I don't know. It just doesn't hit quite the same. I mean, it's still good. It's still good, but it doesn't hit. It doesn't have that hurt, that good hurt, that I tend to get from watching the anime. It's a different experience. Holy crap, you are a very scary person right now, MonoEye. Oh, I gotta be very careful. I don't know if I can be careful. But then again. But yeah, I do know Blue Archive is coming out next month. And I saw some pictures in Twitter where they have the advertisements in the Tokyo subways for the anime coming up, which I guess is expected. The Tokyo subways is a very, very interesting place to see with all the anime and game advertisements whenever something hot comes up. Congratulations, Lucats. What were you waiting on, MonoEye? But your hand was very scary. I feel like you could have gotten all honors there if you were waiting for the right tiles. GG's on that. Do you guys want to stay in Sanma, or would you rather a slower game in regular rooms? I'm fine with either one. I'll let you guys decide on this one. 2-7 saw the 2P? Ah, okay. So it's not all honors, which would have been still much more helpful or hurtful. Okay. Let's go to normal room. Let's go to normal room. I feel much better there. Slower pace, personally. We might only have time for one more game here, depending on how long the game takes. Almost got so songy, but all green already dead. Yeah, I think I was going for Tanyao, though it didn't quite materialize, obviously. We also have one more spot here for anyone who wants to join in. I'm gonna wait for a little bit before I add the AI. And I did say I was gonna show Ui Sensei later, because I might be talking about Ui Sensei at length, so I will probably do that later. Should I show this? Should I not show this? Nah, I think anything involving pictures I'll do after this game, depending on how long it takes. Because it could, you know, the game could be like 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, and by that time, I think we'll have just enough time for just chatting at the end anyway. Okay, not that this isn't just a just chatting stream already, but it's a different just chatting of just chatting. Podcast, Ui Sensei, Rain. Oh yeah, Lacasse, what's up? What's up? Deer anime. I saw the trailer for the Deer anime. I know nothing about it. It does look a little bonkers, and I feel like it's been a while since we had a. It's been a while since we had a crazy, not crazy per se, but a wacky slice of life anime. That's no. I guess it's less slice of life. It's more comedy, right? Slice of life is slower. Comedy can be slow, but it's also, you know, it's more funny than a regular, what do you call this? A regular slice of life. Have you read them? Is there a manga to that? Have you read the manga? Because I haven't heard about it until I literally saw the trailer, and the trailer looks weird. as far as cute girls doing cute things is concerned. Maybe not the weirdest thing I've seen per se, but it's weird enough that you haven't seen something like it in a while. And I feel like that's a good thing. The first time, okay. I feel like that's a good thing. It's also, oh yeah, speaking of good things in anime, not any one title in particular, but I can probably say I'm starting to see a trend with anime recently, and I haven't watched anime in a while, but I have been noticing a trend that is a good thing, and we've been seeing, I feel like we've been seeing a little bit less isekai anime recently. Am I wrong? Are you into underrated gems? Name one. I am up for watching anything. As far as underrated gems, would you consider Odd Taxi to be an underrated gem? I don't think it's underrated. It's definitely under the radar for most people. Uma Musume, I have watched the first season. I haven't watched the second or third season. That was on my thing to do until I became a streamer. And then I became a streamer and had basically no time to watch anime when either of those came out. It was only recently I started watching anime again, or at least found time to do that. But no, I still have to watch the second season and the third season. I have watched the first, and I liked the first a lot. I don't know how the second season was, but it was probably good enough to have a third season. Which also reminds me, I need to watch the second season of Zombieland Saga, which I understand also still has the janky 3D from the first season, which I kind of wish they didn't, but what are you gonna do? Mappa will be consistent as much as possible, I guess. Second's a masterpiece. Third, they play a bit too safe, really? Is Uma Musume really that underrated? I mean, I feel like maybe it's not, I guess even in Japan it's not that popular. The actual horse racing is more popular. And has Rice Shower actually showed up in any of the anime? Because I don't remember her from the first season. The only time I remember Rice Shower is in the gacha game. And I played the gacha game for a little bit. I mean, the gacha game is interesting in the sense that it's basically a roguelike, right? It's basically a roguelike growth simulator, and you have to play all the events correctly to get the best growth, and then you have to do the trait inheritance and all that stuff. It's a little bit weird. I did enjoy it for a little bit, but the races were like a little bit too RNG for me, so I kind of stopped because of that. You play since launch. Are you still? Oh, you're still playing it. Nice. I was kind of hoping they'd get a localization for that, but I guess it's a little bit too niche to do it. And after seeing what happened to Princess Connect Global, because Crunchyroll was handling the localization, I'm almost kind of glad it didn't get localized. But yeah, I'm still bummed out about the Princess Connect Global. I know a lot of people went back to JP, but there's also a lot of people that just dropped the game altogether because, you know, it's much easier to have it in English than not. And I sympathize with that. Similar to Eurocamp. Okay. Eurocamp. I did a mini review on Eurocamp, and I think if you've played a little bit of the Eurocamp gacha game, you know where I'm coming from. It holds your hand way too much. Especially at the beginning. During the tutorial, it's ridiculous. Riveting, very riveting. I don't know if I still have that. I remember I did that as a short. And I got rid of most of my shorts, actually. Well, I didn't get rid of it. I unlisted them. Mainly because I don't know, I feel like shorts don't really vibe with the channel too well. But anyway, it's yeah, I don't know. It also feels weird having Eurocamp being a sweaty a sweaty game like Uma Musume. So it's like, yeah. Played for one bit, a bit too short. I mean, I don't know what they expected when they made the Eurocap Gacha game, to be honest. And I'm surprised that it's still even there in Japan. But in Japan, they tend to live a little bit longer, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not so much these days, but they still kind of do. I guess on one hand, there are some games that still live despite you not expecting to live for up to this long. Like, let's say Puzzles and Dragons. But then again, for some reason, Gung Ho just refuses to die, so Puzzle and Dragons still lives somehow. Grand Blue still lives to this day, and that's perfectly fine by me. However, I'm still surprised that it still lives as a browser game of all things in 2024. However, they probably just can't switch until they do something major in the original game, you know. I mean, even Rage of Bahamut became Shadowverse, which is perfectly fine. And then there was an original Princess Connect that was a browser game that became Princess Connect Redive, probably for the better, actually. And then what else? I was also told Idolmaster Cinderella Girls used to be a browser game, and I think I vaguely remember that, but it's been a mobile game under Bamco for quite a bit, and that's perfectly fine, except it's JP only. So I don't think I can even go back to my old account. I mean, it's not that I don't want to, I can't. I don't remember my login. I used to have a really good account in Derimas, and I don't have it. I don't remember my login. But I feel like the day Grand Blue dies will be a very sad day. And I hope the day it dies, they have a backup plan for it, because the IP and the characters in it needs to survive. Holy crap. Congratulations. Congratulations. I think we have time for one more game. Let's do one more game. GG's. GBF2. I hope GBF2 is not a browser game, just for ease of use. There's a Shadowverse 2? Really? Or are you calling Shadowverse Rage of Bahamut 2? Because that's what it is. That's what it really is at the end of the day. I haven't heard of a Shadowverse 2 though. Because if there's a Shadowverse 2 out in summer, we're gonna have to look at this after the game, because I haven't heard a single thing about it. Because the only other Shadowverse I know is on the Switch, and it is not Shadowverse, regardless of what you tell me. It has the cards from Shadowverse, but the gameplay is basically Yu-Gi-Oh! Not the gameplay, but the setting is basically Yu-Gi-Oh! And I do not want that to be Shadowverse 2, because this is not what I signed up for when I did play Shadowverse 4 a little bit. An expansion of the first one. Okay, and before we actually check it out, what have they said anything on what makes it different from the first one? Other than, you know, it's a 2. I'm assuming they're revamping the gameplay somehow. They changed the rules. What's the rules now? I mean, I guess we can do a deep dive after this game. Blood and Shadow is now one class. I'm kind of surprised they weren't to begin with. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Before, Blood was, if I remember correctly, more of a power deck, HP sacrifice, but I think there's also a little bit of lifesteal. And Shadow was like a graveyard mechanic kind of thing. First 4 evolve, second 5 evolve. There's a super evolve mechanic. I'm kind of surprised they just didn't roll that into Shadowverse 1. Because they could have easily done that. Or maybe they just wanted to like have simple Shadowverse and then more advanced Shadowverse. I don't know. Are they going to still keep the original Shadowverse if that's the case then? Or are they going to get rid of it altogether? Because I can see the case for keeping both. Also, your cards don't transfer from one thing to another, that which kind of sucks for some people. Gonna chi that? You know, you do know pawn overrides chi, so too bad. Too bad. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they're right or not regarding 2 killing 1, because you know it could go any which way. It can go any which way. I'm trying to think of a case where the second version of a game killed the first one, and I guess technically Final Fantasy 14 killed 11. I mean, 11 was supposed to end anyway, but I think 11 is still also kind of still around. You could say SV1 is done. Did they actually finish the story? Upcoming expands gonna be the upcoming game is going to expand this SV1 ending with story. Okay. Well, I mean, generally, if a gacha game finishes a story, then the entire game is basically done. I don't think I can think of a gacha game where they actually complete the story and the game still keeps on going. Now, technically, you could have different arcs. You can have different seasons within a game that completes a story, and then you can continue from there if you want to, you know, keep the game going. Excuse me, I think I burped a little bit. Like they did that with Princess Connect, they did that with Grand Blue, I think multiple times. A non-side games example would be Guardian Tales, if anyone has heard of that or played it. They have multiple, I wouldn't call them seasons, but definitely it feels like a lot of stuff happens in Guardian Tales, and it's actually pretty darn epic. Almost on the level of epic as Grand Blue, but Grand Blue is just, you know, nicer overall. Kind of, sort of. Yeah, I don't know, but you can definitely do seasons within the game if it's just story stuff. But if you want to introduce different gameplay, I don't see why they couldn't have added it without doing it too, unless they wanted to do just start everyone else back from zero, which could also be a thing. Like some people got too powerful in SV1, in Shadowverse 1, story-wise or gameplay-wise, and they wanted to restart them, reboot everything. That could also be a thing. From a business standpoint, and I really don't like thinking this way, but from a business standpoint, if everyone's too good in one game, you probably might want to make a second game so everyone starts back over again. And they have to get more cards again. Yeah, okay. I did hear, I mean, in any card game, there's always going to be some sort of power creep. Real life or not. I feel like MTG has some power creep too, as well as Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the worst example of power creep. Can we agree with that really quick? Or at least, if anyone disagrees with it, can anyone disagree with me about that? Because holy crap, it's ridiculous. Games should not end in 1 to 2 turns. I mean, maybe ended within 10 turns, but still. Games should not end after 1 turn 30 minutes later. That's just way too much stuff happening in that short amount of time. And when you can decide the game in 1 turn, it's like, okay, I'd rather not play this game anymore. There's just too many things to keep track of, and the game's too formulaic for me to enjoy, and you have to understand all the interactions to be able to even get a good combo right. Yeah, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't played it. I know what is it? The game that's everyone's playing, Master Link, Duel Masters. It's like, it's basically modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you have a lot of combos happening at one time, and everyone needs to have the perfect deck so they can get the perfect draw and end it in one turn. And if you don't have the perfect counter during that one turn, you're basically screwed, and you just lose automatically. But you have to sit there for 30 minutes for someone to do their combo and end their turn, and I don't find that enjoyable whatsoever. So it's like, I'd rather not just pick this up at all. And I am surprised people are still playing it. I guess, I don't know. It's just not good for me. It's just too much stuff. I'd rather play Shadowverse, honestly. Shadowverse, at least, especially when I first played it, even though you might be losing mid-game, you can still kind of win, or at least have a chance of winning after mid-game if you got lucky, I guess, or had a good setup. But still, I like those comeback situations. Comeback situations are nice to have. Maybe I just like second chances, or I just don't like being steamrolled so hard after one turn. I don't know. That could be a me thing. That could just be a me thing. Ah, crap! I should have saved that. But yeah, man, I did not need the alcohol today, did I? Usually alcohol makes me really talkative. Also debuffs me as far as the sleep goes. But yeah, I'm just getting worked up in a different way that I've been worked up in a long time. But yeah, we'll take a look at Shadowverse 2 a little bit after this, I guess, and check some other stuff out. But let's see, did I miss anything? I feel like I got sidetracked so much there. Which is fine. Getting sidetracked is fine, but it's like my train of thought is like all over the place. If I have a train of thought anymore. I mean, I'm perfectly awake. It's just like, oh no, where am I? I am lost. I am lost here in my thoughts. Oh yeah, I think we were talking about anime before this, and you were asking me gems of an anime, and we talked about Uma Musume, and I guess we got into the gacha games after that. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically up for almost any anime. I think there's just a few I don't really watch. I tend to not watch shonen stuff, but other than that, I'm usually up for most things. And yeah, I mean, there's probably some anime also that I watch and other people don't watch. Are you into movies? Movies? I haven't watched an anime movie in a while. I'm trying to remember what the last movie I watched was. That's recent, because the one anime movie I liked a lot and watch every so often is Redline, and that's an older one. But as far as actually more recent, I really can't think of one off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head. Though I hear there is another Madoka movie coming soon, or did it already come out? I forget. And I feel like, on one hand, okay, maybe we needed it. On the other hand, how much more are you gonna hurt me? How much more are you gonna hurt me, Madoka production? Because the last movie left me in such a wreck. And I don't know how I don't know if I'm gonna survive another one. Oh yeah, I guess also it's either a TV series or a movie. I don't remember, but apparently we're getting we're getting a sequel to Expelled from Paradise. I forget what the Japanese version of the name is, but Expelled from Paradise, the first one, was pretty good. It took took a little while to get used to the 3D, but I overall enjoyed it. A very happy story for yuruHYPE, which is surprising. So I'm not sure exactly what the sequel is going to be like. What's the movie? What's the name of the movie? Because I think The Boy and the Heron was one of the more recent ones, or is that someone else? 5 centimeters per second? Wait, they made a sequel to 9 centimeters per second? Because I don't know how I feel about that. I remember watching 9 centimeters per second, and that wrecked me. Yeah, 9 centimeters per second wrecked me. Or maybe I may have got the title wrong. It's something centimeters per second, and it's a I guess you can call it a romance, but it's like a bittersweet romance movie. Probably 5 centimeters. Okay, I forget which one it is. I forget exactly the title. Involves a train? I think it did. It's been a very long time since I watched it. Congratulations, by the way. Holy crap, you are very strong. It's nice seeing strong players here. It puts everything in perspective as far as Mahjong. Thank you for joining the games. 2007, yeah, it was an older one. Okay, so the Mahjong for tonight is over. Thank you all for joining. However, we can still chat a little bit more. So let me move over to the chatting room so that we have a little bit quieter place to talk. And I did not change the title for that, but that's okay. Okay, so let me look up Shadowverse 2 since we were just talking about that, and we'll also check out. I'll just briefly show the plushies later. Shadowverse 2. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Is this the Shadowverse 2? I don't think I have. See, I'm getting Shadowverse Season 2, but I'm also seeing a blue-haired girl for Worlds Beyond. Let me see. Is this the trailer? Let me just make sure that if it's no. I don't think there's a trailer for it, right? It's just screenshots. Worlds Beyond is title for Shadowverse 2. Okay. I don't think there's any screenshots though, right? No, it's just screenshots, but there's no trailer, which is what I'm trying to look for. So far, I think the chat got censored. Something trailer? Something trailer? New game, Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Let me see if I can find it. The link for the trailer. Okay, I will look that up on YouTube because chat does not like that. Okay, I see it. I don't know. Well, I'm not monetized, but I still don't want to get flagged for anything on YouTube. So I'm just going to check the. What do you call it? I'm just going to check the trailer and I'm just going to react to it. But you won't see anything or hear anything. So let me just take a look at this. And for anyone who wants to check it out, let me just put the link. My link should be able to show up, I think. Yeah, okay, so that's the link if anyone wants to check it out. I'll be looking at this one. It didn't go through in YouTube for whatever reason. I will paste that on YouTube directly for anyone who wants to check it out. There we go. Okay, let's see. Lots of people I do not recognize from the first one. Except for the main characters. Those are the only ones who I recognize. And then now we have blue-haired girl who basically just flashed her ass at me and then quickly covered with a cape. I'm guessing these are the new characters for the new archetypes. Oh, guns, nice. I'm seeing some returning characters, and that might just be cards. Oh, that's just cards. Returning cards, returning skins. Gameplay-wise, I'm not catching any of the new stuff. There might be details elsewhere. However, I am seeing a new area, which basically looks like the Shadowverse anime, which is weird. Not gonna lie. And I see a mahjong table. Why is there a mahjong table and fishing in this game? And a RPG? What? Are these all the same game? Okay, I think this is all the same game, and it's all very weird to me. KMR said JP people wanted mahjong and fishing in their card game. Why? Oh, oh. Why? I don't understand. KMR, you didn't have to listen to them regarding this. Okay. I'm guessing the details are elsewhere, but that is very weird. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I mean, I guess it would be also kind of neat to use your cards in an RPG setting rather than just the card game itself, but oh, they have a website. Let me see if I can find the website. Shadowverse. I guess I need to put in Worlds Beyond. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. Okay. I found the website. Let me see. This one I think I can show on stream, but you can probably check it out yourself. But let me see if I can put this on without screwing anything up on my end. Let me see. Maybe this. There we go. Fancy page as always, because that's what they do best. Language. Eigo kudasai. So we just got the side. There's the girl with the guns, and I mean her front is fine. It's just, you know, the back is, yeah. The back is, yeah. Cute though. But yeah, for anyone who didn't watch the trailer, there's fishing apparently, and a very very basic RPG, which I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. Mahjong is a weird addition. However, if people want mahjong here, I guess that's fine and all that. I'm still gonna be sticking to Mahjong Soul, just because I'm kind of established there. But by having mahjong and the card game at the same time, I don't know. Let's see. I don't see any details though as far as gameplay on the website, unless I somehow missed it. They do have the trailers here, but other than that, I don't see any other details. Oh, here it is. There we go. Somehow I skipped it. Revamped mechanics, entirely new content, more strategy, more fun, so they say. New Super Evolve. Okay, I guess we'll see how it actually works out when it comes out. And that's really all they gave for us. That's all they really gave for us. Nothing else. So, not a whole lot. Should be a few card mechanics example. I mean, I guess it plays in the background, but it doesn't really explain it very well, from what I could see. It seems like there's like maybe the Super Evolve, I don't know, sacrifices. I mean, I'll probably try it when it first comes out. But other than that, I can't tell really what's going on. Yeah, I can't really tell what's going on. The thing that sticks out to me the most is the fishing, the RPG, and the mahjong, all three at once. And I guess the lobby, which I don't know where they got this, to be honest. It kind of seems like they picked this up from Guilty Gear for some reason, and now we're in a theme park. And I don't know if this theme park has anything to do with the Shadowverse anime that I wish wasn't like this, but I guess if to rope people in, they kind of had to do with this. I don't know. It just feels very weird to me to have a theme park here, because it's like, if this is a theme park, what does that make the actual story? What does that make the actual story? Is this a game in the game kind of situation? I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just what are they going for here? That's what I'm most curious about. I'm definitely gonna probably take a peek when it does come out. We'll probably hear more about it on Twitter and such when that happens. I'll be very interested to see how that goes. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna be playing it on stream, but I mean, I guess for a first look, we can try and check it out. But yeah, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I guess before I forget, because I did promise it a little while ago, they came in. The Ui plushies. I guess Ui Sensei had a regular plushie and the loli version plushie, which are both the same size in plushie form, but there's both of them. Quality wise, it feels a little bit fragile, I guess. It's not like super high quality from touching, but it is kind of nice. If I have to compare that to one of my other if I have to compare that to one of my other plushies, I do have a few other ones. I have Jill from Valhalla, probably a little bit better made than Jill from Valhalla, but Jill is also mostly felt compared to this one. This is mostly cloth and cotton, which is interesting. Because no, I guess that's normal. I guess that's normal because the Cube one I have is also kind of similarly made, though Cube is tighter, definitely more filled out than this. But this is pretty interesting. But yeah, just wanted to share that. Just wanted to share that quick little nerdy bit. Anyway, I think I have to end here for tonight and get some rest for tomorrow. But yeah, again, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for playing and watching. And it was nice seeing new people. Again, anyone coming from Twitch, the main channel is on YouTube if you want to check that out and see what we got going over there. I will be streaming every so often on Twitch, mostly during Mahjong nights, or anytime I find like if I'm doing something grindy, I might stream on Twitch a little bit. But yeah, the main channels are always going to be on YouTube. So yeah, please check that out if you get the chance. Other than that, I will be actually pretty busy next week. Wait, I got way too much stuff on the plate for next week. Next week, I'm actually going to be streaming on Sunday with a friend early morning for me, which I usually don't do a Sunday stream because I like to sleep in. But I guess I won't be able to sleep in that day. Crap, I forgot. That's my sleep-in day. Why did I agree to this? Why did I even set this up? Why did I suggest it? But it is a rare chance to play with a friend on stream. With that particular friend, because we're in totally different time zones. So, horror game. It'll be a horror game that we'll be doing. They made this thumbnail. Pretty neat thumbnail. Much better than the thing I would have slapped together otherwise. So we'll see how that works out. It will be early on Sunday though. If you're on YouTube, you can see when that's going to be airing. So check that out. Otherwise, for the whole of next week, since I don't really publish a schedule, the whole of next week, for at least the usual days, is going to be this. Reverse Collapse, Bakery Girl, it finally came out also today, which I don't know how many people actually have heard of it, but if you've heard of Girls Frontline, I was really, really big into Girls Frontline for quite a while. And part of my soul is still kind of over there. So I've been keeping track of Team Mika's other game, which technically they started with Bakery Girl first before they made Girls Frontline, but now there's a remake of their original game. And we did play this particular game on stream when it was an open beta. Open beta did not have any voice acting, but the full release apparently has voice acting, so I will be interested to see how that plays out. Also, on top of that, none of my save files from the first playthrough transferred over, so we will be actually starting over on the game. But since I kind of know how that goes, I think it'll be easier, but I don't know if they change anything either. So we'll see that. We'll see how that works out. But I'm basically going to be playing this and only this the entire week next week. At least Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So full week of Reverse Collapse. I don't think we'll be done in that amount of time, but we'll get through quite a bit, and I want to play this basically for a while. So FYI, we'll be getting a lot of this, but also I'll try to spread it out a little bit on some days, so it's not just this on the schedule, but I will be heavily invested in this. Just FYI. And this is going to be a strategy RPG that might be a little bit different for some people, but this is going to be different from your usual strategy RPG, and the story is definitely going to be definitely different from most of the stuff that we do here. But it's not, I guess, it's not unusual. It's not unusual from the usual stuff. Anyway, just that was just a quick preview for what's happening next week. Other than that, I got nothing else, so I'm gonna call it a night here. Thank you again, everyone, and have a good rest of your day, morning, evening, whatever time it is, and get some rest. Bye, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.